Chromatography numericals. This is part 2. In part 1 we have completed about 2.5 problems, and in this part we will complete the remaining problems which are there. About 5 more problems are there. Now some of you are downloading the videos and then seeing. My advice is that first you see the videos completely, uh, and then you download. The reason is, if you download, the tendency is to just forget it or not to view it, because all whatever videos of study material is there, of education is there, normally we tend to neglect it, or it is very boring, like you don't like to, nobody likes to study unless somebody is very much interested in the subject. So unless you have problem of net connectivity, preferably you see the videos completely first, and then you can download and rewatch again if you want to, right? Okay, let's begin with this. Also, one more thing I wanted to say is that there is uh, a channel which is sorry, the sublink channel, sub channel is there, which is of analytical chemistry. That is the playlist. These playlists you can see in the playlist. All the videos of the topics of the analytical chemistry are there, and not only the ones which I have recorded, but of other people also, which are related to the subject. So you can see the videos in the playlist also, right? Okay, now let's begin with the chromatography numericals. We have completed two problems. The first problem was the following data is, all this I have covered. Now in this we had to calculate the plate number, mean and the standard deviation, and the plate height. That all we did. Similarly, in the second problem, it was related to the first one, where we had to calculate the retention factor, distribution constant, and retention factor and the distribution constant. Now let's see the third one, third numerical. In the third numerical, from the data in question 1, for species B and C, calculate the resolution, selectivity factor, length of the column necessary to give a resolution of 1.5, and the time required to separate B and C with a resolution of 1.5. So in this first part is, we have to calculate the resolution. I have given you the formula for resolution as 2 TR C minus 2 TR B, if you are considering C and B as the two solutes, divided by WC plus WB, right? So TRC value in the first problem we have seen is 14.1, and TRB value is 13.3, and the WC and WB are 1.16 and 1.07. So this ratio, if you calculate, comes out to be 0.1717. So the resolution for B and C is 0.717, and now you know that the resolution is not so good, because resolution of 1 or less, they give you quite a lot of overlap. So we'll see what happens. What will be the, in the C part we have to calculate the length of the column necessary to give a resolution of 1.5. The B part of the problem is selectivity factor. Selectivity factor is TRC minus TM upon TRB minus TM. Substituting the values, we get 14.1 minus 3.1 upon 13.3 minus 3.1. So this alpha value comes out to be 1.078, which is also not pretty good. Okay, now the third part is, find out the length of the column to give the resolution of 1.5. Now the resolution they have got as 0.717 in A part. If you want to increase the resolution to 1.5, what will be the length of the column you have to take? Now we have to apply the formula for the resolution. The resolution is proportional or resolution is equal to square root of n upon 4 alpha minus 1 upon alpha k dash b upon 1 plus k dash b, whereas k dash b is the here written we are talking of k dash b, but the second solute is c, so we have to substitute the value of c there, but we will not be using it. We will be using the equation which is shown here. The resolution is proportional to square root of n, because alpha is going to remain same, whatever may be the resolution, the alpha is going to remain same, and k dash b or the retention factor of the second solute is going to remain same. So rs is proportional to square root of n. Now we want a resolution of 1.5, but the resolution which is got, we have got. So since rs is proportional to root of n, then rs1 upon rs2 will be root of n1 upon root of n2. If you take the ratio, the proportionality sign will disappear, and the terms which are attached to it, alpha minus 1 and alpha, and alpha minus 1 upon alpha and k dash b upon 1 plus k dash b, they will get cancelled with each other. So when you take a ratio of, since rs1 is proportional to rs2 and rs1 is proportional to root of n1 and rs2 is proportional to root of n2, when you take the ratio, it will become equal to rs1 upon rs2 is equal to root of n1 upon root of n2. Why we are calculating n? Because the length of the column is nothing but the h value multiplied by n. So we will find out what is the plate number required for a resolution of 1.5. For a resolution of 0.717, the plate number we have got in the earlier part of the problem as 2533. That is the mean plate number. So if you take substitute the value in this equation and cross multiply, your root of n2 is equal to 1.5 upon 0.717 into square root of 2533.25. So this if you want to find out n2, you have to square up, so you will get the answer as 11,087. Now this is the plate number required for the column whose resolution is 1.5 for the solutes B and C. So now the plate number we have got 11,087. The length of the column will be n multiplied by h. See, h is your plate height, and we have calculated earlier in problem 1 and 2 that h value is 0.015. Multiply this 11,085 by 0.015 and the length comes out to be 166 centimeters. The part D is to calculate the time required to separate B and C with a resolution of 1.5. Now you know that the time required for separation is TRB is proportional to RS square. Here TRB is the second solute, so in our case it will be TRC. The general formula is TRB because when we consider A and B, but here we are considering B and C, so we are talking of TRC, but in the formula it is TRB. So your TRB is proportional to RS square. If we want what is the TRB value when the resolution is higher. So TRB1 is proportional to RS1 square, TRB2 is proportional to RS2 square. So when you take the ratio, it will be TRB1 upon TRB2 is equal to RS1 square upon RS2 square. So this I am substituting. Here we have to put the C value, TRC value, which is 14.1. Resolution 1 is 0.717 and 1.5 is the wanted resolution, which is 1.5. So with this, the TRB value will work out to 1.5 square upon 0.717 square into 14.1, which is 61.71 minutes. So instead of 14.1 minute, the time required to complete the separation of B and C will be 61.711. Now see the next problem. From the data of problem 1, for the species C and D, calculate the resolution, the length of the column required to give a resolution of 1.5. So these two things you have to calculate. Resolution, again formula will apply, TRD minus TRC upon WC plus WB. So if you see the values of TRD and TRC in the first problem, TRD is 21.6, TRC is 14.1, base width is 1.72 and 1.16 for DNC. So 14.1, 21.6, 1.16 and 1.72. Okay, so when you put the values over there, we are in the fifth problem. Sorry, we are in the fourth problem. Right, so we want RS, calculate RS. This RS comes out to be 2 times 21.6 minus 14.1 divided by 1.16 plus 1.7. This comes to 5.208. Okay. Now the length of the column required to give a resolution of 1.5. Resolution is proportional to square root of n as per this equation which is shown there. And since alpha and k dash b, that is in fact in this case it will be k dash d, the alpha and k dash values are constant, so we can have RS proportional to square root of n. So RS1 upon RS2 will be square root of n1 upon square root of n2, right? If you RS1 is proportional to square root of n1, RS2 is proportional to square root of n2. When you take that ratio, you will get RS1 upon RS2 is equal to root of n1 upon root of n2. So 5.208 upon 1.5 is the resolution which is asked, and in this case square root of n is n1 is 2533, n2 we have to find out. So this n2 will come out to be, when you substitute the value, is 210. Now once you multiply this by the plate number, you will get the length of the column. Once you multiply this by the plate height, you will get the length of the column, 210.14 into plate height, which is 0.015. we have seen in the earlier part. When you multiply that, you will get the column length. Now in this the calculations are not shown, you can do it on your own. The plate column length is n2 multiplied by h. H value is we have seen earlier that the h value is 0.015. Here it is there. L is equal to n into h. L we have got there as 200 and something, 210.14, multiply by that h which is 0.015, and you will get the length of the column. Okay, now let's see the next problem. The following data were obtained by liquid chromatography on a 40 centimeter pack column. 3 compounds were there. 3 compounds were there: methyl cyclohexane, and toluene. TR values are 10, 10.9 and 13.4, and half width is your base width is 0.76, 0.82 and 1.06. Okay, we have to calculate the average number of plates and standard deviation for the average in A, and average plate height of the column. Now here it is written W half. It is not W half, it is a base width. Please correct that. It is because W half, the formula is different. Here we are going to use, it is W, not the W half. This is a mistake by the person who has written this. He made a mistake. So the average of the plate number is n into 16. Formula for plate number is 16 into TR upon W into the whole square. So 16 into 10 by 0.76, the whole square. First case it will be 2770. Second case it is 2827. Third case it is 2556. Average will be, add up all this and divide by 3, which is 2717. Right? Standard deviation, use the same formula which is used earlier. Standard deviation, summation of xi minus x bar the whole square upon square root of n minus 1. Xi value is 2770, 2827, 2556. Bar value is, x bar is, we have calculated earlier, x bar is 2717, and when you subtract that from the xi values, first case you are getting 53, 110, second case and 161 in the third case. And these are all absolute values. You may get a negative value on subtraction, but the absolute value you have to take. And then you have to calculate xi minus x bar the whole square. So 53 square, 110 square and 161 square. So all those you have to add up. So 2809, 12100, 25821. That you add up, you'll get 40,830. The number of data is 3. So n minus 1 will be 3 minus 1, that is 2. So square root of 40,830 is the answer for the standard deviation. So this will come out to 142.88. So you'll get plus or minus 142.88 because it's a square root. Square root values, they are always positive and negative both. Plate height of the column will be h is equal to L by n. Length of the column is 40 and the average plate number we got it as 2717. So the plate height comes out to be 0.0147. Now the sixth problem is for calculate the resolution for methyl cyclohexene and methyl cyclohexane, methyl cyclohexene and toluene, and methyl cyclohexane and toluene. All the three resolutions we have to calculate. So it's very simple. You have to apply those formula of RS. RS for A and B. Here A is your methyl cyclohexane. A is methyl cyclohexane, B is methyl cyclohexene, and C is toluene. So the resolution for A and B methyl cyclohexene and cyclohexane will be 2 into 10 minus 10.9 minus 10 upon 0.82 plus 0.76. So that is 1.13. This resolution getting 1.13. For B we are getting, that is cyclohexene and toluene, we are getting 13.4 minus 10.9 into 2 upon 1.06 plus 2.82. This comes out to be 2.65. And for methyl cyclohexane and toluene, that is A and C, you will get 2 times 13.4 minus 10 upon 1.06 plus 0.76. So this resolution comes to 3.13. Right. Now seventh question. If the resolution of 1.5 was desired for resolving methyl cyclohexane and cyclohexene, how many plates will be required, and what will be the column, how long the column would have to be so if the same packing were employed, and what will be the retention time for methyl cyclohexene on the column in problem 5. Now number of plates required, RS is proportional to square root of n as per the formula. So RS1 upon RS2 will be equal to square root of n1 upon square root of n2, because RS1 is proportional to n1 square root of n1 and RS2 is proportional to square root of n2. So 1.13 is the actual RS1, RS2 is what is desired 1.5. So n1 is 2717, n2 we have to calculate, and this when you substitute the values here, your n2 comes out to be 4787. So the plate number of column, plate number required to get a resolution of 1.5 is 4787. And what will be the length of the column? Just multiply by the h. So 4787.5 multiplied by 0.0147, that is 70.3. So the column length required is 70.3 and not 40 now. Okay. The retention time for methyl cyclohexene on the column. So they want the TRB value for the second component at a higher resolution. Your TRB values are proportional to RS square. TRB1 is proportional to RS1, TRB2 is proportional to RS2. When we take the ratio, the first TRB is 10.9 that is given in the data. The resolution we calculated for the actual data is 1.143. But if you want a resolution of 1.5, what will be the time for separation? That will be TRB2. So that you can calculate. You will get the answer as 19.2. So the TRB value increases from 10.9 to 19.2. We substitute the value there and calculated it. Okay. Now the next part, if the VS and VM, it is VM not VN. If the VS and VM for the column in the problem 5 are 19.6 and 62.6 ml, it is SS respectively, and the non-retained air peak appeared at 1.9. Calculate the retention factor for each of the compound, distribution constant for each of the three compound, and selectivity factor for methyl cyclohexene and cyclohexane, selectivity factor of methyl cyclohexene and toluene. Now retention factor K dash B is given by TR minus TM upon TM. TM is 1.9. 10 is the TR value for TM is 1.9, TM is 10. So retention factor for methyl cyclohexane is 10 minus 1.9 upon 1.9, that is 4.263. For methyl cyclohexane, the retention factor is 10.9 minus 1.19 upon 1.9, which is 4.736. For toluene, it is 13.4 minus 1.9 upon 1.9, so that comes out to be 6.05. So these three retention factors we have calculated. Now they want, first part we have done, that is retention factor for each of the compound. Next part they want is distribution constant for each of the three compound. Distribution constant, the formula for distribution constant is K dash into Vm by Vs, right? Because the original formula is K dash is equal to K into Vs by Vm. But if you want K, then you have to reverse that, we have to cross multiply, and K will come out to be K dash into Vm by Vs. Vm by Vs, they are given the values in the data that Vm is, Vs is 19.6 and Vm is 62.6. 19.6 and 62.6. So substituting the value Vm upon Vs is as 62.6 and 19.6 multiplied by the retention factor. This we have got in the earlier part, 4.263. So the distribution constant for methyl cyclohexane comes out to be 13.398. For methyl cyclohexene, multiply 4.736 by the ratio of 62.6 and 19.6. This will come out to be 15.126. And for toluene, it will be same formula. Just multiply by 6.052. So there you get the answer as 19.329. Now they want the selectivity factor for methyl cyclohexene and cyclohexane. Formula you know, TRC minus TM upon TRB minus TM. So 10.9 minus 1.9 upon 10 minus 1.9. So that will give 1.111. They want selectivity factor for methyl cyclohexene and toluene. So it will be TRC minus TM upon TRB minus TM. So it will be 13.4 minus 1.9 upon 10.9 minus 1.9. So that is 1.333. Okay. So in this way we have seen the numericals of chromatography. There is a formula required is a retention factor formula, the formula for distribution constant, formula for relating between formula relating distribution constant and retention factor. Then you have got formula for selectivity factor. Then you have got formula for resolution. We have got formula for plate number. We have got formula for column length, which is L is equal to N into H. We have got formula for relating RS and plate number. Then we have got formula for your elution time, TRN, TRB, and the resolution. So these formulas you have to apply. So that concludes the numericals of chromatography, and that concludes the introduction to chromatography. We will start with the next topic of gas chromatography in the next lecture.